This is Karen.
Hello, welcome everybody. I am Shane.
Today we're looking at part 1 of King Arthur, history or legend. And the vocabulary words are popularity.
Popularity.
The actor's popularity has grown in recent years.
Account.
Account.
Nicole gave police a full account of what happened that night.
Monk.
Monk.
When he was young, Peter wanted to cut off all his hair and become a monk.
Cool. Commander.
Commander.
The commander bravely led his army into enemy lands.
So we're talking about someone famous from history, right?
Yeah, he's famous like during the Dark Ages, right?
King Arthur.
And is this person just somebody from fiction, or did he really live?
Well, I think that's something that no one really knows, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's been proved definitely that he has.
But there has been so many stories about King Arthur.
Yeah, quite early on there was a monk who wrote about a British Roman soldier or leader named Artorius.
Okay.
And we think if you make that name into the English name, it would be Arthur.
Oh.
So this is a very early account.
So that could have been Arthur. We don't know, right? And also in the 9th century, it was King Arthur actually was mentioned the first time in the book of the history of the Britons.
Right.
And then it was written by the Welsh monk. And then they were talking about how King Arthur was in 12 battles. But you know, when you think about it, it kind of makes me question, can a person really be in 12 battles?
Yeah, and I think they did do some research where maybe the timeline, it would have been impossible for him to actually have been in all of those battles.
Exactly. So we don't really know. Was it true or not true?
Maybe he was in just some of them, and who knows, right?
That's true.
Well, do you know? We don't know, but let's find out more.
All right.
King Arthur.
King Arthur.
King Arthur, history or legend? Legends surrounding Arthur have been retold in countless books and movies. The British king is famous for leading his Knights of the Round Table in battle against Saxon invaders. Despite his popularity, his historical identity is still uncertain. Was there actually a King Arthur who ruled Britain during the Dark Ages?
Today's lesson is called King Arthur, History or Legend, Part 1. Hello everyone, my name is Jeff.
And I'm Mike. History or legend? Was King Arthur a real person, a real king of England from hundreds or even more than 1,000 years ago? Or is it a legend? Is it just a big story? A very entertaining story, but a story. Nothing to do with real history. Well, I do know that King Arthur, real, legend, true, a story, it does make for a lot of entertaining films, television shows, and books. So I'm kind of happy either way. But it is a good question, and a question that historians have been dealing with, talking about, arguing about for a long, long time.
You've got that right there, Mike. I say we get started and dive in here and learn about King Arthur. The first sentence says, legends surrounding Arthur have been retold in countless books and movies. By the way, in the title of our lesson, we refer to King Arthur as being a legend, a heroic person from history who might not have existed. Now, in this sentence, we've also used the word legend again, okay? But here we're not talking about a person. A legend can also be a story about a heroic character like Arthur. Yeah, a legend can be a story about a legend. How about that? Anyways, this British king, or the British king, I should say, is famous for leading his Knights of the Round Table in battle against Saxon invaders.
There you go. That's the basic story. He was a king in Britain, and he helped protect his country against invaders. Well, as we go on, though, it says, despite his popularity, His historical identity is still uncertain. Of course, we know his identity, King Arthur. That's his name, that's who he is. But his historical identity is if this person, King Arthur, is a true person from history. But as the sentence says, it doesn't really matter because King Arthur is always going to be a very popular character, real or fictional. When we talk about how popular something is, we use that word from the sentence, popularity.
Which is a noun. Popular would be the adjective. If you were describing a popular person, you'd be saying, oh, everybody knows this person or knows about this person. Popularity is just the degree to which you are popular. Yeah, when we're talking about the popularity of something, we're talking about how well known it is. For example, the actor's popularity has grown in recent years. This person, this actor, has become more famous. Anyways, I should say, here's the question. Was there actually a King Arthur who ruled Britain during the Dark Ages, or did we just make this character up? Anyways, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a break. But don't go away. We'll be back soon.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。同学们应该或多或少都有听过，或者是看过亚瑟王的传奇故事吧？但是历史上真的有这一号英雄人物吗？还是那些故事只是为了娱乐大众而编造出来的呢？好，刚刚老师们在开场的时候用到两个形容词，一个是 heroic。就是在 hero 后面加上 ic 变成形容词 heroic 就是形容英雄的英勇的，还有 entertaining 它是拼作 entertaining 它是形容有娱乐性的或是有趣的令人愉快的。好，另外老师们有提醒我们一个字 legend 这个字呢，它除了可以指传说传奇故事，还可以用来指传奇人物哦。好，课文一开始说很多有关这个亚瑟王传奇的故事，他的电影啊、书籍都非常非常多。那这一位不列颠国王率领他的圆桌武士，在战争中对抗了萨克逊入侵者而闻名。即使他很有名望，可是人们还是没有办法确定他的历史身份，不知道是不是真的有这一位亚瑟王，他在黑暗时代统治过不列颠。好，这边有一个单字 popularity。它就是 popular 的名词 popularity 表示受欢迎，或者是可以表达有名望有人气。那么补充单字 invader 它表示入侵者或是侵略者。接话课文中
King Arthur, history or legend? Writings don't provide many reliable clues. The only existing early account is from a monk named Gildas, who described the Saxon defeat by British forces in the real-life battle at Baden Hill. However, Gildas mentions nothing about a commander named Arthur. Instead, he credited British victory to a British Roman leader. Some say this leader's name could have been Artorius, an uncommon Roman family name and a precursor to Arthur.
So here's the question. Did King Arthur really exist? Was he the real deal? Or is he just a legend? Well, one way or another, apparently writings don't provide many reliable clues.
That's right. When we talk about writings, we're talking about writings from history, written stories from hundreds of years ago that might have talked about King Arthur closer to the time when he would have been alive. Well, we can go back in history, but we can't go quite as far back as when King Arthur may have lived. It says the only existing early account is from a monk named Gildas, who described the Saxon defeat by British forces in the real-life battle at Baden Hill. All right, so this is from real history. They know there was this battle at Baden Hill between the Saxons and the Britons, and they think that maybe King Arthur was involved, but there's only one existing account. And an account, this noun, is basically one person's version of a story. If 2 or 3 people witness a crime or witness an accident, the police might come along and interview all of the people who were there and saw it with their own eyes. But those accounts, the different stories, the different things that people tell them, might be different. Some people might have seen it, some people might have heard the sound and turned a moment later. So their stories, their accounts will be different. And historians take these different accounts, compare them, and then try to figure out where the truth is, just like the police would. For example, Nicole gave police a full account of what happened that night. She told the full story.
There you go. So there's only one real story, one piece of writing written around the time when Arthur was actually alive. Only one. You would think that if he were this big heroic character that everybody would have been writing about this character, but there's only one. And this account, by the way, this single account was written by a monk. Okay, here we have the word monk. This word is a noun. When I think of a monk, I think of someone who has given up most of their worldly possessions and stuff like that in order to devote their lives either to God or to contemplation or to both. Okay, monks in Christian churches, usually the Catholic Church, they go somewhere called a monastery. They don't get married. They live a life of poverty, and they pray all the time. They pray to God. For example, when he was young, Peter wanted to cut off all his hair and become a monk. Yeah, that's a thing. Sometimes people do shave their head when they've become a monk.
It's true. They might shave all their head or have just a little bit around the side, as monks in Europe used to do. However, let's get back to Gildas the monk, who also maybe wrote the first history of King Arthur. However, Gildas mentions nothing about a commander named Arthur.
So there was one account
of
Arthur, but Arthur's not in it.
Well, there could have been someone with a similar name, and there certainly was a battle going on, but if Arthur was a king, you would expect him to be a commander, absolutely, because a commander, this noun, is a general term for a military leader. All right, we could talk about a captain as the commander of a small group of soldiers, or a general way up at the top is the commander of thousands of soldiers. But basically the commander makes the plan, gives the orders, and the lower level soldiers have to follow those orders and do what the commander tells them to do. For example, the commander bravely led his army into enemy lands. Maybe he was a commander like King Arthur.
Maybe if Arthur actually existed.
Yeah.
Anyways, instead, this monk credited British victory to a British Roman leader.
That was the commander.
Perhaps. Now, some say this leader's name could have been Artorius, an uncommon Roman family name and a precursor to Arthur. So, there is a connection there, but is it super strong? Not really. Anyways, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a break, but don't go away. We'll be back after this.
历史上真的有亚瑟王这一号人物吗？在过去的文献著作当中，并没有很多可靠的线索。目前唯一现存早期的描述呢，是来自一名修道士，他有写到这个在巴顿山之战这场真实战役当中，萨克逊人被英军击败了。好，那我们先来看两个单字 ，account 在这边不是指账号哦，它是指描述、报道或是说明、解释，是当名词来用。那么 monk 表示修道士或是僧侣。那我们顺便学一下 monastery 则可以用来指修道院或是寺院，它是拼作 monastery monastery。好 ，Jeff 老师提到说，修道士或是僧侣通常会抛下世俗的东西，把人生奉献给神啊，或者是冥想之类的。那么老师用到 worldly 就是在世界 world 后面加上 ly 会变成形容词，用来形容世间的世俗的。老师还有用到 contemplation 这个字 contemplation contemplation 它可以指沉思冥想，这个字也可以指考虑思量。 好，话说回来，刚刚说的那一位修道士，他在描述那场战争的时候，完全没有提到任何一位叫做亚瑟的指挥官，他反而是把英军的胜利归功于一位不列颠罗马的领导人。那有些人就说，这个领导人他的名字可能是 Artorius， 那这是一个不常见的罗马姓氏，可能是这个亚瑟 Arthur 这个名字的前身。好，课文用到 precursor 就表示先驱或是前身。那么单字 commander 这是指指挥官或是长官。介绍课文中
King Arthur, history or legend? In the 9th century, Arthur appears for the first time in The History of the Britons, written by the Welsh monk Nennius, who listed 12 battles that Arthur fought in. But it would have been impossible for one person to have fought in all of those battles. Still, later writers drew from Nennius's work, and Arthur's fame spread across England and into France after the Norman conquest in 1066.
Okay, we're back. King Arthur, fact or fiction, history or legend? Let's get back into things. In the 9th century, Arthur appears for the first time in the History of the Britons, written by the Welsh monk Nennius, who listed 12 battles that Arthur fought in.
Okay, so here we have the name Arthur written down by this Nennius person, but this is again hundreds of years after King Arthur should have lived. So it's not exactly a first-hand account by someone who knew him. But the name is there, and also he's a leader, he's a commander. There are 12 battles listed that Arthur fought in. We're getting close, but it would have been impossible for one person to have fought in all of those battles. So maybe historians know when the battles happened, and if one person fought in all of them, they would have either been very old or they would have had to travel great distances very quickly. So again, this history looks like it was put together with some facts and then things got mixed up, and it's not exactly the truth.
So it kind of sounds good,
close.
Kind of sounds like history, except no one would have been able to do what was written in that so-called historical account. Anyway, still, later writers drew from Nennius's work, and Arthur's fame spread across England and into France after the Norman conquest in 1066.
So there you see, it might not have been true, but it was a good story, and that's what people remembered about it.
There you go. All right, folks, with that, today's lesson is in the books. Bye-bye for now.
Take care.
在西元9世纪，亚瑟第一次出现在不列颠人的历史这个著作里面，那它是由一位威尔斯修道士所写的，里面有列出12场亚瑟参加过的战役。可是啊，一个人不可能打过那所有12场战役啦，它的这个真实性呢是有待商榷的。Mike 老师就说，这个修道士可能没有亲身接触到亚瑟，他写的内容应该不是第一手资料。好，老师用到 first hand，first 第一，然后加上 hand，形成一个字，它叫做第一手的、亲身的或是直接的。那么 first hand 它可以当形容词或当副词来用。好，课文最后提到说，后来的作者呢，他引用了这个修道士的作品，于是亚瑟的名声传遍了英格兰各地，并且在1066年诺曼人征服之后呢，传入法国。好，我们文中写到 Norman Conquest， 诺曼人征服，这是什么呢？它指的就是1066年法国诺曼底公爵威廉对英格兰的入侵与征服。好，那么以上是今天的讲解，同学们别走开，马上回来哦。大家好，我是 Hanny， 欢迎收看我们的文法单元。今天要介绍文法重点，当当，只有一个，就是 could 或是 would 再加 have 再加 pp 的用法。好，我们来看助动词 could 可以用来表示推测，也就是有可能或是或许的意思。那么 could have 加上过去分词是用来表达对过去情况的推测，表示当时原本可以怎么样，当时原本可能怎么样。 像我们可能会听到这句话说 ，The accident could have been avoided。那场意外原本可以避免的啊，可惜就是怎么样啊，千金难买早知道。好，那我们再来看 would have 加上过去分词，可以用来表达过去某件事可能发生的结果或是影响。那常常会跟过去事实相反的假设句来连用，它也可以单独存在。那我们来看一个例句 ：The runner would have won the race if he hadn't tripped and fallen。要是那名跑者他没有绊到脚跌倒，他本来会赢的。好，那顺便补充一下，我们还可以用 should have 加上过去分词来表达说早应该做某事却没有做。例如 You should have told me you couldn't come。你应该早点跟我说你不会来的啊，害我一直等，一直等，一直等。你知不知道？你知不知道？我等到花儿也谢了。好，我知道你们没听过。好，以上是今天重点整理，我们下次见了，拜拜。
Hello, everybody. I'm Holly. Wait, I'm Shane.
OK，这个错误怎么会这样子呢 ？OK， 我们必须要重来一次，砍掉重练。好，再一次来。
Back to the drawing board. Hello, everybody. I'm Shane.
I'm Holly.
And welcome to
English in Action. Alright， 我们今天的主题就是砍掉重练，重新来过。怎么说呢
Okay, but let's not do that. Let's just go right to the dialogue.
Okay, yeah, good idea.
Dialogue. This plan is definitely not going to work. Back to the drawing board.
Oh no.
Okay, so in the dialogue, this happens a lot, right? You try to do something and you fail or you feel, it's not going to work. So you have to go back to the drawing board.
为什么要回去画画
The idea is like you plan something and you have all of the plan and you do it. It didn't work. So now you have to erase.
擦掉，然后再重新计。OK， 就有点像回到白板，然后再重新计划一次这样。OK, I get you.
So it really just means let's start over.
So let's start over. 我们再重来。
Let's redo it.
Redo it. 我们再重新做一次。
Okay, got it. So why don't we redo it and practice these sentences?
Good idea. All right, back to the drawing board.
Back to the drawing board.
Let's start over.
Let's start over.
Let's redo it.
Let's redo it. So, if you don't know how to say these things in English, what should you do?
靠我们
就对了。